Hello, beautiful beings of light. I thought we'd have a little story time. And I will read you the first chapter of my book, LoveBytes. And my plan is by the end of all of this, not today, but by the end of all of it, I will actually have recorded all the chapters for you. So, yes, you have a video version of it and maybe an audio version. So, yeah. Let's begin. LoveBytes, A Transformational Journey Home by Claudia Sasse. It's only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. We never knew where the path would take us, yet still we climbed. Exhausted, I wiped my forehead. Dirt mixing with sweat, creating a smeary trail, like a reminder of the trail that we had traveled up to this point. The land is tropical, lush, rich, but foreign for someone like me who grew up in the north. The cacophony of birds is deafening at times, mocking, teasing, taunting, celebrating, and sweetly soothing all at the same time. Flowers that remind me of hibiscus, but as large as my head, rest on fleshy leaves. Strangely, there is no insects, at least none of the blood-sucking biting kind. The air feels layered. There's a light crispness underneath the sweltering tropical heat. Why am I telling you all this, I wonder? I live in two worlds, you see. On one hand, I am traveling up the mysterious path in a jungle unlike any I've ever heard of or imagined. On the other hand, I am sitting on my sheepskin rug, leaning against my bed, typing words into my laptop. Right, I had heard just as I was waking up, then seeing an image of myself opening my MacBook with a blue cover that shows every single fingerprint. Gotta wipe those off, I told myself. And then I wondered, is this writing prompt a result of my conversation with my friend Melissa yesterday after the channeling during our Heartlight Leadership Circle? I am something of an oracle, you see, except that sounds ancient, and I'm really more of a normal kind of woman, at a middle kind of age. A perfect age, actually. What I channel feels like ancient knowledge, though, and brand new at the same time. A bit like the two layers in the air on that mountain path. So yesterday, my third-grade aspiring author self got resurrected after bouncing around the idea of writing a channeled novel. Because most of my channeling comes in these multi-layered, multifaceted pictures anyways. Oracle style. And today I woke up to this prompt to write. Wondering, why am I telling you all this? It is as mysterious as this jungle path, so let's keep going. Where are we now? I asked my travel companion. He turns to me, beaming. He actually looks freaking illuminated and not a bead of sweat in sight on his strong, kind face. Like he walked through the layer of crisp, fresh morning air while I was toiling through the slightly oppressive, weirdly sweet, decayingly sweet jungle heat. Come, sit with me for a minute, he invites me. And he points to some rocks that appear seemingly out of nowhere, just like the little clearing on the side of the path where they sit. He takes my hand as he positions himself to face me. I am a sweaty hot mess, yet he is lighting up even more in front of my eyes, literally looking like a light being. WTF, wow! He looks at me, his eyes sending beams of light into mine. Who are you? I hear myself ask him. He laughs lightly, sounding carefree, almost giddy, and totally at ease. You might not believe me if I tell you, he replies. Try me. I end up sounding more challenging than I intended. I am you, he says softly, holding my gaze with his crystal clear, two-layered, two-colored land and sea eyes. His eyes have this incredible depth that melts my heart, melts me. I feel myself dissolving into his gaze, into him, in a way that I perceive nothing but his eyes, his presence. Yet it feels strangely like I am feeling my own presence. Whew! I am shaking my head, wanted to make sense of what I think I just heard, but I cannot break the spell. Nor do I really want to. I am you. The words begin echoing, but not in my head, more in the space that looks like a bright bubble and has appeared around us on our seat on the rocks. All of a sudden, the atmosphere in the bubble changes. The bright sun dims and stars begin appearing in a night sky. And not any old night sky, but the most breathtakingly beautiful night sky I have ever seen. My mouth gapes open as I get up and slowly turn in a circle, eyes cast upward at the dazzling light show that reaches all the way down to the ground. It's like I am in a planetarium, except it feels as huge as another universe. Whoa! Bewildered, speechless, I sit down to face him again, immediately drawn back into the spell of his intensely kind eyes. In my head, a million questions are swirling like scraps of paper in a tornado. What is this? How did you do this? Being just the most obvious ones. It makes me dizzy. Then suddenly they stop. As if someone turned off the twister and all those scraps of paper gently and gracefully float to the ground, resting at my feet. A peaceful, spacious stillness is all I can feel, and none of the questions and strange occurrences matter anymore. I am you. There's a presence that is all-encompassing, as if I had not known before what it meant to be truly present and instead had existed on a sliding scale between sorry, not here at all, to mostly present but still a bit distracted, just in case. In case of what? I snap back to my place at the laptop, as if this presence that I'm beginning to feel as I tell the story is too much, as if I have to stay in the real, rational world. I listen to the sweet morning song of the birds, my mind going on its familiar wanderings, my attention toward a cup of tea. Stay with me, I hear a faint echo. I take a deep breath, postpone the tea, and dive back into the story. I arrive back in the universe under the stars, primly sit down on my rock, smooth down my clothes, and look up. Where were we? I ask. He looks at me, shaking his head softly with the sweetest smile on his face, and I feel myself soften and melt into his incredible presence again. Will you trust me? He asks. The question is clear. I can sense no weight around it, no hidden agenda, no weirdness. Will you trust me? He repeats. My mind does a few somersaults, triple axels, and throws in a roller coaster ride for good measure. Meanwhile, he quietly waits for my answer, emanating a grounded kind of peacefulness. None of this feels wacky at all, as a matter of fact. Okay, I inhale, and then I exhale deeply as if I need to make space for a new kind of air. This book will change my life, briefly floats through my writer's head, and I'm back in presence. Which is a weird thing to say, as presence just is. Like there is no back to or away from, it simply is. A state of beingness, always around us, in us, with us, always us. We only have to tune in. How did I know this suddenly? Overwhelming love begins to curse through my heart as he places his hand in the middle of my chest, ever so slightly rocking it back and forth once, as if to make sure it is properly anchored. It almost feels like I'm going to faint. Breathe with me, he says quietly. I lock eyes with him and allow myself to relax into the calm and steady rhythm of his breath. The tension of the overwhelm begins to fade, and I feel myself expanding into the lightest, most spacious state I have ever been in, making room for all this love that is flowing through me. This is you, he says. I am you, and I'm mirroring you back to you so you can experience yourself, the incredible, total, and complete love that you are. The beautiful universe you see around us is your universe. I am simply making it visible for you. And with that he vanishes, shoots through my writer's head. And I am noticing myself going, no, you can't go. The story is just beginning. I don't even know your name yet. It's Jay, I hear. Wait, Jay what? Like Jay or Jay or JC. There is definitely a JC-ness about him. No need to call me JC. Jay's fine, he smiles as he fades from my view. I sit there, kind of stumped and speechless in both my worlds. Without Jay's steady presence to help me create more space and grounding, the sensation of overwhelm grows stronger again. Apparently, I am living this book, at least the energy of it. Oh boy, breathe, I remind myself. And sometimes it's totally okay to take a nap in the middle of the day to integrate all of this. Breathe, I hear. And then there's always a poem or something else in between the chapters. So the first one is, the magic you are to me. You are a deep and magical space for my soul to land and be at peace. Heart bursting open, expanding beyond limits whenever I meet yours. Weaving, dancing, soaring, exploring entirely new dimensions with you. In an adventure I've never known to be possible. Recognizing in you what already exists within myself. Breathing in the expansion, the magnificence, not willing to shrink back into the safety and familiarity of a smaller version of myself. Learning to embrace the perfection of the unfolding, eternally grateful we have found each other. And see you at the second chapter. Bye.